Hi, I'm Gabby. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about some things. So let's go. So if you hear a lot of noise in the background, please ignore it. My whole family's here and my younger cousin. What will be will be. And I really wanted to get a video out about that's not a blog. Just to have something else in the works. So here we go. So what I want to talk about today is where I have what I'm reading, where at least where I'm up to, what I left off to. So starting with Blood Debts. I am 25% through, and compared to, and I realized this, compared to Bones to the Wind, Bones to the Wind, I forgot the name of the title of the book, but here's the title of the book. If I don't, if I remember or research it after when I'm editing. It's I was able, that book is a lot easier to get through. You could get through that book in a day. This book, and it's not just about like the page counters or the thing. It's just like in terms of the storytelling, it's just much easier. Whereas Blood Debts is a little bit harder. But let me backtrack a little bit. What is Blood Debts about? It is a book about these twins. Yeah, they're twins. I believe they're twins. Either not, or they're brothers and sisters. Either way. They're relatives, and their mother is cursed, and they have this whole long family generation of bad luck happening to their family. They are a family of Jinn magic. They could do, which compared to white magic, which is what done by white people, and so there is a rivalry between there, and there's also rivalry between the non-mag and the magic, non-magical and magic. So, and there's like, and that's what just, and the story is about finding out who's cursing their mother and how to, well, save their whole, I guess, society. But mostly concentrating on saving their mother. So, that is essentially what it's about. I'm not sure if I'm selling it right, but yeah. So that's Blood Debts. And so, as I said, was going back to what I was saying earlier, it is not as easy to read where I could like skim through the whole book for, Bones, okay, that story, Bones to the Wind or whatever. I'm sorry. It is not as easy because I could skim through that book and then go back and reread it again later. This one, I'm trying to skim through it, but I'm like, I still get pieces of it, but it's not as easy to skim through. So I actually had to take my time and read it. So which is why I'm only up to 25%, and this is my second time borrowing this book. It's not that difficult. It's just that I take a long time to read. By the way. So that's that book. I'm really interested. It's really intriguing. I bought it as a mentor text, but I didn't think I would get this invested into the story, and I'm like literally like mini anxiety attacks because I'm like, oh, this part when it's like, you know, something's about to happen and you expect something terrible, and it's like, oh my gosh, will this character live or die through this? Especially since so far there's been, again, it's like Gen Hex, so there are people who died based through magic or have died in the past before the darker story through magic. So I'm like, oh, okay, is this like we're gonna get a character death? Some little anxiety right there happening, panicking there. So that's Blood Debts, and I am enjoying it, and I will probably make another one of these reviews online later. Another story I want to talk about is called Save the Cat, but for young adults. And it is actually informative. It is helpful. I didn't get through a lot of it. I'm skipping through the books to the parts that's most equivalent or more relevant to me. So I read the beginning where it was characters, and I quickly skimmed through the Save the Cat story beats, and I'm gonna skip that to go to a more specific area where it's like, okay, now let's break it. No, well, not let's break it, but like genre. I'm going through Save the Cat genres, so I'm gonna skip that area. I haven't read it yet, but so far the characters are a bit helpful. I'm like, okay, to help me set up my characters, and then I'm like, okay, this is story beats. This is how I'm gonna start my story beat, which is like, okay, I'm getting a better, clear idea. Because I already wrote it. I'm gonna read. This is gonna be my fourth draft, so this is my kind of like my revision. I'm using it as a revision for. By the way, I'm not using it for my actual young adult. Right? I'm using it for my graphic novel, which is gonna be more middle grade ish. So yeah. To help set that up, help me revise it so when I'm ready to now go through the final. I'm ready for the final. I didn't write the ending. I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna write the ending. I'm gonna write the ending when I'm ready to write the final draft, which is what I'm doing. This is what I'm ready to do. Okay, so now that's Save the Cat. Actually, am I recording? Okay, I'm sorry. I panicked because I wasn't sure I was recording or not. I'm like, well, am I just talking to the void again? Anyway, so the last story I want to hit on and talk about, and I originally wanted to talk about this story after I finished it, but I wanted to get a recording done. And it is Taming the Marquis was the web novel. It is completed. I checked. I'm not sure if I read this before. I mean, I definitely read this before. When I'm reading it, I realized, oh wait, I read this. But I wasn't sure if I read the ending. I don't remember the ending. So I'm rereading it from the beginning, and hopefully to see if I even read the ending or not. Because if it's not, the ending is not memorable as I would think, but the beginning is. And I'm up to the part where she is in a contract marriage. I should also tell you what all those stories about. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Save the Cat story. Save the Cat for YA is basically help structure writing for YA novels. It is, if you never heard of Save the Cat before, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's basically like a how-to book, but for writing. But it's a little bit more better, like in depth. I don't know how to explain it. A lot of people recommend and use it. From not only SBA but also other writers I looked in and watched on YouTube, so I'm trying it out and see how it works with me. And then now to Taming the Marquis. Taming the Marquis is about a girl who saved a boy who was not actually a boy. He used magic to transform himself into a boy and purposely got caught. She saved him thinking it was a boy, and it turned out that from saving him, the Marquis, who is pretending to be a boy with magic, fell in love with her, and then there's also a conspiracy going with the royal family, and so that's where the story left off. The story is about generally. It's a love story with a little bit political drama in it. So. That's Taming the Marquis, and if you're interested, read that. So yeah, it's a web novel. It's on Webtoons, I think. I have to double check. Yeah, I think it's on Webtoons. I saw it. I saw on Webtoons. Okay. Edit out. So yeah, you can read it here. And I feel like it's an engaging read, as I said. You kind of do root for them, and you really hope the Marquis get better. He is not like other male lead where he's like definitely an asshole. He's definitely not a good guy, but he's not like unredeemable. Like, oh my gosh, why would you still want to get with him at the end? He's also not overly obsessive. There are those and what's obsessive male leads. He is obsessive to a point where he does get jealous. But I read worse. I read worse. So there's that. There's only like one so far, only one scene with that. There is another male lead that's in love with her. Well, not real male lead, like second male lead kind of syndrome. You can't tell, but he is kind of rooting for them, weirdly enough. So that's where the story is left off, and that's where I'm up to. It is really, really good. If you want to read it, I recommend. I recommend all these books, by the way. Including Save the Cat, which I don't have much to talk about, but yay, there you go. That's it for this video. Until next time. Bye.